Well, if you've been watching this whole Olympics to Boston story, we told you earlier this week there could be some secrets about to be let out of the bag. Now we've got some of those details. Many of the specifics surrounding the Boston bid for the 2024 Summer Olympics now out in the open. They're planning on calling it Midtown. That's the name for this big project. Organizers have already started collecting feedback from the public, and the public has a lot to say. At the first meeting, it was a packed house, standing room only. As a part of the presentation, the organizers showed a video highlighted by several appearances and supporting statements from several past Olympians. They rounded out that meeting with a question and answer session, but still a lot more questions than answers. One representative, United Independent Party Chair Evan Falchuk, was launching an initiative to hold a public vote for the games. He's still not impressed with the whole plan overall. He still wants there to be a vote. Once again, we still don't know all the details about what the Olympics might mean for Boston. A lot of complaints over not enough transparency, though. Here's what we do know. Many of the plans and pictures for the 2024 Summer Olympics are now revealed, and we can take a good look at them. Now, this makes things a little more interesting moving forward. For a lot of people, just seeing those artist renderings and blueprint proposals in person made this whole Olympic bid much more of a reality. This could really happen. Now, some of those plans we've seen show what the Olympus campus could look like, and we're showing it to you here now. UMass would be the new athletes' village. That's a big place there where everybody would live and stay for a while. The Olympic Stadium would go in South Boston, right along Widett Circle, along the South Boston line. Now, right now, you might know that's a big industrial park. A lot of businesses are in the area, and this would affect them. Now, remember, that stadium would only be a temporary one, built to seat 60,000 people. After the Olympics would be over, the proposal suggests they would tear that down and recycle all the parts. Public meetings on these bids start next Tuesday. And still no official word from the NFL and its investigation into whether or not the Patriots underinflated footballs for Sunday night's game against the Colts. It's been reported that 11 of the 12 balls tested at halftime were in fact underinflated. We don't know who's responsible. The Colts players, they don't think it made much of a difference. In fact, tight end Dwayne Allen tweeted the Patriots could have used soap for footballs and still beat the Colts. But that aside, this could come back to bite the franchise anyways. We could see fines, or even worse for the Patriots, they might lose a draft pick if this investigation does reveal that they intentionally deflated those balls. Now, Coach Bill Belichick met the media. He says he's fully cooperating with the investigation. He also says he was shocked to learn about the whole thing on Monday morning when he woke up after the game. He says he had no knowledge about the footballs being deflated during that time. Now, he denies taking any part in doctoring the footballs, but around the league, several other quarterbacks, including Aaron Rodgers, they say doctoring a football to their own liking is common practice. In fact, one 7-year veteran, quarterback Matt Leinart, he says every team tampers with footballs. Just ask any quarterback in the league. He calls Deflategate ridiculous. We'll see if Roger Goodell and the NFL front office agree with him. Some people are even calling for the coach to be suspended for the Super Bowl next Sunday in Arizona, but from what we're hearing, that's highly unlikely. And another day, another development in the murder trial of Odin Lloyd. You'd have to think former Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez just wishes that his biggest accusation this week was tampering with some footballs. Instead, he's one day closer to the official murder trial as the judges, prosecutors, and his defense attorneys narrow down the pool of qualified jury candidates. The judge declares 38 jurors indifferent. Now, this means that they have not already formed some kind of opinion about Hernandez one way or the other, guilty, innocent. The judge says she'll continue with her individual questioning until she finds just 12 more. She wants an overall pool of 50 qualified candidates before the next step begins. It's all a big process. Now, if all goes as planned, that will start Monday, the next step in this phase. The judge will take an input from both legal teams as they use what's called preemptories to get rid of the jurors they don't want on the case. The prosecution and the defense each get 18 challenges, and they do not have to give an explanation for no reason whatsoever. When they're all said and done, the court should still have 18 candidates left, 12 for the jury bench, and 6 more to fill in as alternates should something go wrong. Now, as soon as juror number 18 is selected, the murder trial will officially begin the very next day, whenever that is. And the executive director of Stoughton Housing Authority, you've heard about this. He was recently arrested for stealing prescription painkillers. Now an update. He's been suspended from his job. It's official. The 5-member board unanimously voted to suspend Gregory Bartlett without pay Tuesday night. Now, it's not clear who will now be in charge of the authority or who's even running daily operations during the interim since Bartlett was arrested earlier this month. Officials charged Bartlett with 4 felony counts after they say he stole the painkillers from a 90-year-old resident in a public housing building.